Hello everyone, welcome back to the BullCast. I'm your host Nathan Poinsette.
And I'm your co-host Audrey Ward.
And today we have a very, very special guest, the Regional Chancellor of the University of South Florida, St. Petersburg campus, Dr. Christian Hardigree. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
Of course, all right. Would you like to provide a brief introduction to our viewers, like just in case they don't know who you are?
Sure. I am the new Regional Chancellor. I started July 1st. I've been in higher education for 26 years now. And in my past life, I was a trial attorney in Las Vegas, defending hotels and restaurants and nightclubs. So kind of a colorful past. I got involved in higher ed because of students. And goodness, that's my favorite thing on the planet. So I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to dive straight into it. So, are you able to describe a typical day or week in the life in your shoes? Like, what exactly does the Regional Chancellor do?
That's a great question because I think there are times that we take a position and we have an idea of what we think it'll be, and then there's the reality of it. I'm incredibly fortunate to be able to do a lot in the community. Okay. And so I work with different organizations. I'll go speak to different groups or different groups that we're hosting on campus. Mm-hmm. I get a chance to talk with our faculty, find out what makes your lives easier from the student perspective. What can we do in terms of staffing that makes it easier to register for a class or pay for it or change majors or whatever. And so a lot of that involves meeting with my own team, the leadership team, to figure out where are the barriers, where are the hiccups, where are the things that we can do that would make it more seamless for you. So there are a lot of meetings. Yeah. I do prefer face-to-face. I'm from hospitality. You know, I want to see people. I want to be able to have engagement. That doesn't mean that there aren't their fair share of Teams meetings and whatnot. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing is to stop and talk to students, especially across campus. Okay. And so that's kind of the day.
Wow. Yeah. That sounds like a full plate to me.
Yeah, it usually, you know, I'm typically on campus and in my office by 7:30, mm-hmm. And depending upon the day, I'm usually home by 7:30 or 8 at night, and then there are always events on the weekend and whatnot. This past weekend, I got to go to Zoo Tampa's fundraiser. And Whoa. So just, you know, again, meeting more community leaders, just an inspiring place to be. And the two manatees that have been rescued from this campus are being cared for at Zoo Tampa. So it was a chance to...
Burger and
Burrow.
Burger and Burrow.
Yep. Okay. So it was a chance to go see them, say hi.
Okay. Sounds good.
So you did say you have a background of hospitality. What exactly inspired you to become a regional chancellor?
Yeah, again, great question. You know, I don't know that I really thought about the position of regional chancellor. I got involved in higher education and fell in love with students. Mm-hmm. Just really loved the opportunity to engage. And part of that was as a faculty member, but then I started working in administration. And I think the legal background comes in handy there, right? Mm-hmm. It's about policies and procedures and things that we do. Right. And so just having had an opportunity to be in a number of different administrative roles, I think creates sort of that context of skills that translate into having the oversight to say, okay, I understand when you pull this issue, it affects this issue over here. And so if we change how we do scholarships, well, that could affect financial aid. That could also affect retention, progression, things like that. And so it just that overview of those different responsibilities have, I think, helped me figure out all the pieces to the jigsaw puzzle. So I have a pretty decent understanding of where the pieces go.
Yeah, no, that definitely is a lot that comes into the whole puzzle, like you just said.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. Audrey, would you like to ask the next question?
Yeah, so can the university partner with a local restaurant to allow students to use our bull bucks?
I had this question recently. A student on campus brought this up. Wonder who that was. And I don't have a complete answer yet, but you know, that's part of what my job is when you raise a question or something that's of a need, is to go kind of run down and find out, you know, run down that ground ball of, you know, what really is here, what can we do. I think part of the limitation has been the tax piece.
Okay.
So when the university's paying taxes on food or beverage that you've purchased here, then we know what our sales were. Versus if you went to a business downtown, their saleable receipts may not match the amount of tax that's been paid. So I don't know that that means no. I think it just means we've got to find out a little bit more information. So when you
Okay.
have me back, I will know the answer.
We won't be here though.
You never know. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Hopefully I'll get a chance to come back.
That's true.
That's very true.
Could be your alumni question.
There we go.
Yeah, so I'm an off-campus student, but I know that on-campus students they do express concerns about diversifying the food options on campus. So using bull bucks at a local restaurant could be a solution, but like you said, there is a barrier to that. But at least we're starting the conversation now.
Absolutely. And Technomics did a study, said that the study showed that 62% of college students make their decision on where to go to college based on food.
Really?
Matter of fact, there was a running back who decommitted from Clemson a number of years ago because he didn't think they had a Chick-fil-A on campus. And he was like, well, if there's no Chick-fil-A, I can't play ball here. So food is very important to people. And so we are constantly evaluating what we offer. We're trying to make sure we're being responsive to the needs of the students, that we have different options. And especially as we, vegan, vegetarian, making sure we're using sustainable sourcing. And so you'll continue to see that evolve as we keep going.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds great.
So I did some personal research into the enrollment percentage of Black students over time for this specific campus. And I noticed a decline in that percentage. So what do you have planned to increase the retention, progression, and grad rates of our Black student population?
Yeah, this is where, diving into the data is really important. This year we did have a decline. The previous 4 years we'd had an increase in each of those years. This year the decline is actually represented by 2 students. And so but we don't have a ton of students, right? One of the things that is also a challenge is our yield. So we accepted over 300 Black students last fall to be coming to our campus, and we only had, I believe it was 31 or 32 who chose to come to us. And so the question is why? One of the challenges is we don't have the Divine Nine for fraternities and sororities on the St. Petersburg campus. And some students are looking for that experience. Some people want a legacy option, somewhere perhaps a parent went to school or a historically Black college or university, so a FAMU or something like that. But I think it's important that we really find out from the students, like you applied, we said, yeah, we're a great match, right? We've both swiped right. And it's not happening.
It's not happening. What's going on?
So what's going on?
Okay, because I came up with this question personally. My alma mater is St. Petersburg College, and I was part of the Brother to Brother program there my freshman year. And that's basically, it's like a male initiative program. And it has exposed me to different environments, people. It opened the doors for a lot of opportunities for me. And I wouldn't be sitting in this chair if it wasn't for that program. So possibly implementing something like that here on that campus could have the same type of rewards for students like me.
Well, I think you hit on it, that whatever inspires somebody to feel like this is going to be their comfort zone is the place we really should double down. And I love hearing that program is part of what had you come be a member of our community here. We've met with SBC several times in the last few months.
Okay.
And part of it's you'll sit down and create programs or articulations, and then we kind of assume they're going to keep going. And 6, 7, 8 years later, you may find out curriculum changed and it's not as seamless to transfer over. Or the person who really was out there in the community and front and center on a particular issue no longer is. And so I think we're at that, let's refresh, dust it off and see what are we doing well and where are we not having the impact that we really want to have.
Okay. So since we're on the topic of higher education, what advice would you give to someone who's seeking a similar leadership role in higher ed, like the role you have?
Well, first of all, I think oftentimes we don't talk to students about that higher education is a phenomenal place to start your career and maybe even spend your career. I'm not naive enough to think people today get a job and are going to be in there for 30 years until they get their gold watch or anything like that. But gosh, it's fabulous to be on college universities and campuses. They're incredible places to grow, to really hone your skills. I joke with my friends that I've never been in an environment where I feel so old and so young at the same time, right? Because you're constantly around people who are innovating and have fresh ideas and excitement. And that's really great until, occasionally a student tells me how old their parent is, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm so old.
okay.
That's okay.
But there's so many opportunities, and regardless of what your major is, I mean, we have accounting services, we need marketing, we have social media, we need folks that maybe you're going to be going to grad school. President Law, when she found out that USF paid for 6 credits a semester, she stopped working at the telephone company, got a job at USF, and then took 10 years to get her undergraduate degree, working part-time or working full-time, but going to school part-time.
Right.
And then when it was at the end of that 10 years, she cashed in her retirement and paid for Stetson Law. Now that's a way you make a system work for you, right? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a really inspiring example of having a career in higher education can be fantastic.
Okay.
And there are not a lot of other jobs that you still get spring break, right? And winter break. Well, there's not a lot going on. It makes it easy to take my vacation.
Okay.
Summer's a little slower. I can go take vacation with the kids. My kids are out of school. So particularly for when my kids were younger, for young parents, it's really great because a lot of that aligns. Mm-hmm. And so you have the opportunity to take that time and really engage.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Can you
And
both come work for me?
I would love to.
Awesome.
Sign me up. Tell me when.
There you go. There you go. We'll be talking after.
Perfect. And on that note of leadership roles, what are your 3 qualities that you would say are vital for a leader?
So I'm going to say that I'm going to give a caveat to that answer, right? Because different roles require different types of leadership. Here, Wawa is an example of a convenience store, gas station that is very well known in the market. If you were stepping in to be a leader at Wawa, what you may need to do might be very different than if you were going to try to create Buc-ee's here, right, a Texas chain, and bringing it into a new market. Mm-hmm. I'm a creative disruptor. So I look at systems and try to figure out where can we be more efficient or more impactful with what we're doing. And so I like change. I enjoy how change can really impact the outcome. Okay. And so with that, my 3 qualities would be listening. I think optimism for change.
Good
Everything's
attitude.
not a challenge. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Good attitude. You got to be excited about what you're doing. Yes. And lastly, I think, 3 qualities. I always go to I always go to, you have to be authentic, and I think authentic and ethics are the same, right? Because if I'm being authentic, then it's ethical, right? It's not a pro forma or anything like that. Like I am engaging in a way that is sincere to my values and to who I am as a person.
I was going to say, if you're going to be an authentic leader, you're going to have to know who you are first.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And that's a process. You're not going to cross a finish line and be like, woohoo, I know who I am, mm-hmm. right? Because you're going to evolve, and that evolution is part of what you just got to keep, measuring for yourself. Of is this, or not just, what is important to me? Where are my values? What drives me? What motivates me? And how do I learn from the mentors I have, and then how do I commit to the mentees I want to engage with?
Wow. Okay. Could you repeat the 3 just in case they missed it?
Just in case you're gonna make me remember them. So authentically, Frechette. Listening and optimism. Good attitude.
There you go. There you go.
Final answer.
Final answer. I know we need a buzzer up here. We need to get a buzzer, guys. Okay. So, what challenges have you faced thus far as Chancellor? Because we know it's not all sunshine and rainbows. No, they're not challenges, they're opportunities. There you go.
I'm having a positive attitude.
Optimism. Quality too.
Exactly. It varies. I mean, it's everything from, this is the first time living in Florida and going through a political cycle, right? And there are a lot of people who want to call and give input and that kind of thing. That's new. It's getting to know our students, getting to know our community, the leaders, the people here. There's a little bit of a challenge. Sometimes it's like drinking from a fire hose, or as I refer to it, academic waterboarding. That's
a first.
Well, there's an intentionality about it. and then consolidation, and I joke with folks about, and again, being authentic. I think I'm funny. Being authentic. I've joked with folks about the fact that consolidation was kind of like my holiday cooking, right? We put all the ingredients in a bowl and mixed it up, and we got the pie crust ready, and we preheated the oven, and then we had a cocktail and started watching the Kardashians and got a little distracted. So we got to get back in the kitchen, right? We got to refresh. And there's just some things, nothing big or huge, just things we got to kind of finish putting together, and then we're going to be cooking with Crisco. It'll be ready to go.
There we go. There we go. It's a process. But Audrey, would you like to ask the last question?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So how would you measure the success of the university and your own performance as chancellor?
And this will be the last one.
Okay. I would measure it, honestly, it's almost student satisfaction, right? When I can walk across the campus and see students and say them by name and ask them how they're doing and see alumni and things like that, to me, that's a level of success for our institution. Right now, oftentimes when I speak to folks, they clutch their bag and step away because they're like, why is she talking to me? Who is she? Make her stop. But students are what drives us, right? You may love the food, you may want more food options, but you didn't come here because of the food. You came here because of the quality of the education and how we make you feel, right? This is the place where not only do you belong, you matter. And when everybody understands that, when they know that they matter to us as an organization and to the individuals, we're going to be successful. That's where I'll be like, ding, ding, we have hit it.
Buzzer.
Buzzer.
All right.
Wonderful. Well, I really appreciate Chancellor Hardigree for coming on here. We love your personality. We love you as a person. Yes, we really appreciate it. You're such a busy woman. We know it is hard to make time in your day to come and talk with us. So
I will
really
make time for students anytime, Audrey.
Thank you so much, Chancellor. So we will stay tuned here for the next segment. We will have alumni speakers from last semester come and speak with Chancellor Hardigree. Stay tuned. Thank you, guys.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the USF BullCast here at St. Petersburg. And if I do say so myself, long time no see. If some of you recognize me, my name is Matthew Lee, and I was a host last semester here on the USF BullCast. But we also have our past executive producer from last semester as well, Autumn.
I'm Autumn.
Yeah. And we're so happy to be here with Dr. Chancellor Hardigree to talk about our experiences as alumni, where we're currently at, and how we feel that the BullCast has developed so far. So again, I can't say it enough. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
So what can we tell you about us being alumni? What questions do you have for us?
What was your favorite experience here?
That's a great question. I think the USF BullCast, for example.
Okay.
We got to work with so many intelligent and great people, and learning to collaborate with each other, as well as being able to create something from scratch. And I do have to give props to the BullCast because I love the new background that they have with the lights, because I don't know if you tuned into our previous episodes from last semester, but we had a white background, and they're making so many great improvements, and it is such an honor for them to invite us all back. So we're so glad to be here.
Absolutely. I was so happy when I got the text from everybody. I miss being here for sure.
What was your favorite experience?
Definitely this.
Was there a particular speaker or
No, it's just
all of it?
Yeah, this was really cool. You know, getting to work with Chris and Matthew last semester and develop this whole thing was awesome. Like, this was an opportunity I don't think I could have got anywhere else, honestly.
Oh, that's fantastic. So if you had a wand and could change something, what would you have changed about your experience?
That's a great question. I really don't think I would change a whole lot. If I could say I had the power to change anything, I transferred back in 2020, and unfortunately a lot of the courses were online forcibly. But of course I know that was out of a lot of individuals' power, but I think I would have wished to have more of an in-person relationship when I first transferred to the college, if I could go back in time.
Well, so clearly we need to get you into a graduate program. That way you can have that experience.
Yeah, maybe.
What about you? Same?
I second that. I lived at home for most of my time here at USF. I was in Tampa for a semester, and then I came here. And I just really wish that I could have been more in the student life, because when I was in Tampa, it was all online. So, and I live 45 minutes away. So making that drive every day was like crazy. But
Well, I will say for our fall semester, this coming fall, only about 34% of our classes are online. So
That's a lot.
we have a lot of face-to-face options for the students, and about 1 in 3 students at St. Pete live on our campus now.
Really?
So our dorms has almost 1,000 students in it, and so you really, you know, I've had some students say, hey, look, I didn't leave home to live in the dorm to take the class online. I love being able to roll up my sleeves and do stuff, and this is a great example of what students can do.
Absolutely. You know, something I wish we could have had the opportunity to have here is the off-campus student housing like they have in Tampa, because if I could have done that, I could have lived down here. But I have dogs, and they have to come with me.
Yep. No,
So
I understand.
I couldn't move from home, but I mean, if we could have some, maybe that's something we can implement, but that would be really cool.
We have been talking about affordable housing and trying to make sure that we have that. You know, St. Pete has historically not developed student housing.
No.
And when you go and look at the apartments in the area immediately around the campus, we're about 64% more expensive than the Tampa campus. And so, so it definitely becomes a challenge. So we're working on it. I don't know if I'll have an answer right away, but we're working on it.
I can imagine that's going to be quite the project. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So going back to the first segment, Nathan asked you a lot of insightful questions about your role here as the regional chancellor. And what really went into my mind when I was hearing your answers was you mentioned mentors and mentees at one point. So I want to ask you, who was your mentor that really pushed you the extra mile to get to where you are today?
You know, that's a really great question. And I'm going to say, you know, everybody not only should seek out mentors, people that you admire, who get you excited and jazzed and all that, but it's kind of like if you ever complain in a restaurant about the experience you've had, like with that comes the requirement you compliment, right? That's the way you balance it. So when you are a mentor, make sure you also bring up people with you, right? And so be sure to mentor others as you look forward. My last university, Janine Davidson, was university president. She was the 32nd Undersecretary of the Navy, the first female to fly a C-130. She was just, there were no barriers, there were no limitations, and she was a great mentor. When I think going back all the way, there was a college professor. When I first started teaching as an adjunct faculty member, Jolie Gaston was she was the professor that I took my law class from, so before I went to law school. And she stayed in touch with me, and she wanted to help me, and I spent a summer as her research assistant and teaching assistant. And then ultimately, when I graduated from law school, it was the first chance I had to teach students. And so I would not be where I'm at today if she had not been a champion. Everybody should have somebody in your life who is your champion, who wants to champion your success and help you go to the next level. That's incredibly important. And if people aren't that for you, or if they create drama, or if they're a drain, you really need to take a hard look at, are those the people that you want to surround yourself with? And when I was a little girl, my dad, particularly once I hit my teen years and started being interested in boys, my dad would say, now honey, you lay down with dogs, you get up with fleas. And he was very Southern. And so, I think what he really wanted to say was, good Lord, please don't let my daughter grow up. But if I'm going to be with somebody who doesn't value me and my input as a potential partner, then how am I ever going to get to a point where we're going to be successful together and build a family together, right? And that's really what he was trying to get to. And so it can be as simple as somebody mentoring you in your personal life, your social media presence, your school life. And this is where your college professors really are important. And that's what I love about the St. Petersburg campus is you have the ability to create relationships, right? They're smaller classes. They know your name, which can be bad if you skip class and they see you going across campus. They're like, Autumn, you weren't in class today. But still, they know your name. They're there to champion you. So make sure that you create those connections.
Absolutely. So I have another question, and I know we're running a little low on time, so we need to get into the third segment. So what advice do you have for me and Autumn, and potentially everyone here in the studio as current and future alumni? Where do you recommend they should do or go next in their professional career?
I think it's always great to sit down with that one professor that really pushed you outside of your comfort zone, take them out for a coffee, meet them on campus, and ask them about what are the things they didn't tell you along that way, and try to activate that advice in ways that help you move forward. Excellent. And I am always open for any of our alumni, for the two of you, for any of our students. Students are what drives what I do. So let me know if you want to get together.
Well, I can't say thank you enough for giving us that offer, and it's been such a great conversation to have you here, and we are looking forward to the third segment to where we will be continuing it.
Fantastic. Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Hardigree.
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt.
Hello. All right. Welcome back to the third segment. My name is Christopher Campbell, and I hear we're going to play a game. Yes, a fun game. We always like to include games in these kind of things. So, who is the host for the game?
Me.
Oh.
I know you all cannot see me, but I'm back again, your host, Nathan Poinsette, and we're going to be having a photo trivia game, USF St. Petersburg edition.
So, Nathan, could you please explain how it's going to work?
Yes, so you're going to be shown an image of a potential location of this campus, and it's going to be on the screen. You have some time to think about the location, and then once you have the location, please do not shout. Keep the answer inside, and I'll ask you all if you have your final answers, and then go one by one with your answer. After you all answered, I'll reveal the correct answer.
Okay.
Any questions, comments, concerns?
And we're going to be looking at that monitor right over there.
Right over there.
Right. Okay. I think we're ready.
All right. So we got photo 1 here.
Okay. So do we?
Okay. So do you have your final answers?
Yes, I have my.
Everyone?
I have my final answer.
Doctor, Chancellor, do you have your answer?
I have an answer.
You have an answer. Okay. You can go first.
I think that's Davis Hall.
Okay. Possibly. Mr. Chris Campbell,
I would say Davis Hall.
you guys might be catching on. Last but not least, Dr. Frechette.
I'm going to go with the second floor of Davis Hall.
Well, wait a minute. Now, are we getting that specific here?
Well, I don't
because
know.
I would have gone for the second floor of Davis Hall. In fact, if we're going to be more specific, I would say the second floor, the ocean side,
Ooh.
right in front of the faculty area.
Wow.
That's
You know
a
what?
high level of specificity.
Just for those answers, you guys will get bonus points. But all of you got it correct. Davis Hall is the answer.
All right.
Yay.
Okay, so on to photo 2. Do we have our answers? All right.
Yes. Well,
Dr. Frechette.
Oh boy. Can we go back one more?
yeah.
It's
10 seconds.
Familiar, but I'm gonna say, is this the terrace?
Okay, that's your answer.
That's my answer.
Reasonable Chancellor.
No.
I was going to say that's the USF St. Petersburg campus.
Can you be a little bit more specific?
The one in St. Pete.
Okay. And Mr. Chris Campbell.
I would say the fountain.
All right. So the correct answer is the tavern/grind terrace. So
cannot
I believe Dr. Frechette,
why did
you were
I
the
not get
closest to
that?
that, so you'll get the point for that one.
You know, I have a plaque there. I do. I have the plaque.
And you have a plaque. And
I
you
have a
couldn't-
plaque.
It's okay. But we
we
got photo
believe
3
that.
here. What do you all think this is at?
Oh, well, that's easy. That's easy.
All righty, Mr. Chris Campbell.
So that is the USC from the corner where that emergency telephone is.
Okay, Dr. Frechette.
I would have to agree. Built in 2012, I believe.
And last but not least, Regional Chancellor.
I think that that's 14 paces from the sidewalk on the floor ground level of the USC in the northeastern corner of the building.
You know what? You all are correct. Congratulations. On to the
Wait,
next.
I got extra points for some of that descriptor earlier. Come on.
Yeah, I'll chip in a bonus brownie. Okay, so the next picture.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Chris Campbell.
That'd be the Osprey, the new Osprey dorms. Yes, from where the bowl is.
Okay. Dr. Frechette?
I am going to have to diverge on this one. I think that's the older dorm, RHO, is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Chancellor?
I actually am going to agree. I think it's formerly RHO, now Pelican. And I'm going to say on the west side of the building.
So the correct answer is the Pelican Apartments, aka RHO. All right, for the next picture.
Okay. Well,
Chancellor?
Uh,
10 seconds.
Um, that's a great question. I'm going to go back to my original answer from another one earlier of that is USF St. Petersburg campus.
Okay. Dr. Frechette?
So I think we're standing 30 degrees to the northwest and looking at, I'm going to say Lynn Pippinger Hall.
Okay. And last but not least?
I'm going to say the Osprey from the sidewalk in the front, and there's that tree about in the middle.
You know what? You are totally correct. That is Osprey Suites.
Well played, sir.
Alrighty. So, let's see. Chancellor, we love you so much, but you had 3 points. Mr. Chris Campbell, you also had 3 points. You're my favorite professor, but you only had 3 points. It's okay. But the Dr. Frechette with, what is this?
Oh my God.
4 points?
Oh my. 4 points.
Congratulations.
I believe that's what they call a blowout.
The man, the myth, the legend. Congratulations.
Is there a
Where's my trophy?
Oh, you'll get that after the show. Don't worry.
Okay.
like the Stanley Cup? You get to take it, let other people borrow it.
Well, we really like to have these games. So I think I'm going to say a few words, and then I'm going to let the esteemed Dr. Frechette close, because he's so good at closing. So, yeah, the closer, right. So I just wanted to talk briefly, really quickly, about kind of the history of where this started. Just to let you know, Casey and I started this whole dream, so to speak, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, with just Casey and myself and 2 students. And we had a bike, which is still out there actually, and we had these little tables here, and it was very haphazard, and it was called Smash Cut, that FYI. And then, you know, it kind of went away. But then last semester, it started up again. And we had Autumn, who's the executive producer, Kelah, and Matthew, a phenomenal host, by the way. It's so good. I get so. Anyways, and now it's really kind of becoming what we always wanted it to be. And I think I wanted to let you know that everybody here, this isn't a class. Everybody here is doing it because they want to be here. And, you know, they're dedicated beyond belief. You know, and the great thing is, as faculty advisors, we just sit back, but they do all the content. All these ideas, everything was theirs. And it's really, really very impressive. And I just wanted to explain that, you know.
That's awesome.
That it's really the devotion, you know, kind of a thing. And anyways, I just wanted to say those few things about that so that you kind of understood the amount of work that they're putting in and the devotion and how great it is, really.
That's what makes this place special.
Exactly. It really, really is. You know, that's really, really a key thing. It really, really is so important, you know. We are the best students by far. And you know, a lot of the students in here are going to be graduating this semester. And they're going to be great. They're going to be great because they're taking the initiative. They're doing the things that it's going to take to be successful, you know? So I just wanted to let you know that.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that.
And I'm going to pass it on to Casey, and then Casey will say some things. See, I tend to babble. So Casey and I, we tend to babble, and I babble, and now I'm babbling. I'll shut up. Sorry.
Well, I just want to fill in a little bit of the history piece. So Chris and I, a few years ago, we had this idea for Smash Cut FYI, and it was about visual storytelling. And he and I were on camera, and we were, you know, kind of hosting it. But I think the best idea we had ever was, well, you know, we should just get out of the way and let the students start hosting. And from that point, it really flourished. And we went, as Chris said, from having a couple students to a whole team. And I think that is such a special thing about the St. Pete campus, because we can come up with an idea and try it out, and then the next thing you know, it takes on a life of its own. And I think going forward, what's so exciting is because of the work of Autumn and of Jenna and Kelah and all the students working on the show, we have this really cool template. So they're graduating, but new students will be taking over. New students coming in the fall will be able to make their mark on the show. And so now I'm in this kind of media mogul phase, and I'm thinking, boy, okay, we've got this one show. Can we add some other shows to the mix or get other students involved? And as we know, these communication tools are so important to all of our students as they make their way through the world. So we're just really grateful to be part of a campus and a community where we can create these kind of things, and so grateful for your presence here today and your leadership of the St. Pete campus. So thank you so much, Chancellor.
Thank you for the opportunity to come. Students are amazing. This is fabulous.
And I wanted to thank you also for coming.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Thank you for both the leadership that you show with our students and creating the platforms, right? We create platforms, and the students do all the really cool, innovative, unique things. And so
I cannot. It's all them. They do all the work. I just sit back, and they do all the work.
it's awesome.
So, okay, Casey, do you want to end the show?
Well, I think that I'll say there's more to come in 2 weeks' time, and the BullCast will continue rolling on and casting on. So hope everybody is well between now and then, and we'll see what exciting things our students have in store for us in 2 weeks.
Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Yep.